Hey everyone, RemanX here, and we're going to talk about the new arena meta that's emerging. We're going to call it Surfing to Infinity, and literally this is the in arena meta. We're going to showcase them live right now. RNG all aside, we're going to take on the 703 K team, so it's just a little over 210K as far as a punch-up goes, and so it'll showcase some of the weaknesses, the strengths of the team. There's a couple of things that can happen that can go wrong. Moondragon dying early is one of them, but we're going to go through turn order and whatnot. And we also showcase a video that I recorded with them facing Black Order. So we're going to start with the obvious here. So it's Surfer, Phylavel. We're looking at Gamora, Moondragon at 3 yellow, and we're looking at our favorite character in the game, Nebula. That could be quite a rework. With all of this happening here, that rework is something that is just blows my mind how valuable she is. So the one thing about this is you're going to remember that right now Zemo basically causes havoc on the team. Because he's able to clear those early buffs, that's a big deal. You're always going to want to start with the evade. You got it, because Surfer can't challenge the evade. So Surfer's going to go in there. He's going to ability block either Surfer or nobody, and that's the big difference. So the only problem you'll have is if Kestrel was able to destroy someone there, it would have been a problem. So we're going to try to go right into Emma. Depending on the size of the Emma, this is a pretty large Emma. We're going to go into the basic with the follow-up here. Didn't get that assist, which was odd here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to slow and rewind Dr. Doom. And that's really the power of Moondragon, is applying that slow, and rewinding time is going to be a big deal. Okay? So we already had Emma go. So realistically, this ability block is going to come in super handy. All right? And so realistically, we just want to take somebody off the board with the biggest turn meter as possible here, and try to make sure that the targets are over. So what we'll do is we'll try to get rid of Kestrel. Kestrel is the second biggest threat on the team right now, besides for Surfer. You have to get her down, because otherwise you're going to be facing a bit of a problem. This counter is going to be important. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and mind control into Emma, give her a taste of her own medicine. We're going to go ahead and do some damage, get the speed up here. We're going to do the basic into Surfer. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and just take Surfer off the board, and you guys will see Surfer did his job, which was really in the ability block over here. And it's all over but the crying. Yeah, guys, that just happened. 200 take punch up against the arena meta. Wasn't really close. Wasn't really a challenge. Play it correctly, and you guys will have it there. Remember, Moondragon, when she comes out, is going to be the character you're going to use to slow a character. If you have the ability block in the right turn order, remember, Emma Frost does change the ability order when you see her on the field, so just know that you'll have to alter versus the Emma teams. You'll get used to it. So we're going to show you guys. We're going to show you guys the actual fight versus the Black Order fight. Now, this one's a little bit tighter because, again, you're going to be slow to react, because they're still very powerful. They still have the capability to flip your debuffs relatively quickly. Chat's making me laugh over here. Nice job, Daz. Middle of the video. Okay, so real early on, we're going to talk about something. On this case, you don't want the evade, because you don't want to give him another buff that he can potentially flip here. So realistically, we're just going to go into Cole. It's a nice soft target. You're going to be able to do some damage that will potentially last, but more importantly, you just don't want to get that retaliate here, just because it can throw off the turn order. If Gamora dies too early. Obviously, ability block's going to strip the taunt depending on how much damage you can do, and and all the other buffs that just got reversed. And obviously you'll see they're going to make a really good use of that death proof for the entire squad coming off the team. So you're going to be evaluating this. Remember that you have Moondragon has the most important ability here. Okay, and you're going to see that in just a moment. Moondragon is probably the centerpiece of this team when you're piloting them. I don't know if that's going to be your primary burst target when we change gears and these guys go on defense, but I will say that obviously you can see the damage potential here. Okay. So we're going to be clearing these negative effects, which is very, very powerful. And you'll see that some of them are obviously residual. So we're going to start trying to get coal below 50% just to trigger the speed up, because then we're gonna rewind the speed, because we didn't want an incidental speed up while we focused down a certain character here. So we just cleared all the buffs. The only person we didn't clear, by the way, 3 yellow star. Only person we didn't clear was Cole. So that ability block, we're gonna go right into him. You're gonna see the damage that this team is doing. Okay, that is a 5 red G13 Gamora. And so now the evade's gonna happen. Actually, I think we do the counter here because he's gonna do his ult soon. So we have the counter. So you can pick and choose based on what you're gonna do. So it depends on what turns he's had. If you want to do the counter, you'll counter attack after he does his ult. Or if you can burst him down, that's a big difference. So we went with the counter attack so that we can finish him off with counters from his basic attack. Okay. You guys will see it gets a little hairy here, but once you get Cole and Thanos out of the way, it's pretty much just pick and choose your targets, and this fight is over. And this one was about a 240k punch up versus Blackwater at the time. We've since invested a little bit more into the team to get them representative. So what I'm going to tell you is the potential that this team works against as a hybrid is very, very possible. What'll have to happen is you're going to have to sit on a few abilities and let the natural course of action and empowerment take its course. You'll be waiting between safeguards to be able to steal the death proof and whatnot. So I do think that there is some hope for hybrids with this team in the game. So just really quick recap. You guys will see that in my arena, it's mostly the hybrid Doom teams with a few scattered large Blackwater in there. I can now successfully beat everybody in my arena with my investment on my Infinity Watch, and we'll just do one more time check-in so you guys can take a look at the Infinity Watch. So we've started to isolate some of the important T4s and some of the important ISOs. I've turned her into a striker. I think the extra bleed damage is going to be exceptional. You guys can see how much damage those bleeds were doing when they were allowed to tick. Same thing with this. We're going full striker for skirmisher. I've got these guys at 75. They're not even 80 yet, guys. And this is the type of potential we're getting from the team. So I think Legendary Soup will be out there. And what I mean by that is there's going to be a hybrid team that may feature Surfer, Kestrel, Black Bolt, and potentially Hela that can work with it depending on if we find the right 5th member. There are going to be some additional teams. Remember, the majority of us will have these characters either worked up or already ready to go. So these events are typically relatively generous in the MSF world. A 5-star by paying a certain amount of core refreshes, and more importantly, you can potentially get a 4-star from the event here. So just stay tuned. I do think, like I said, I think they're extremely viable. I do think that because of the power of a person playing them, they're really exceptional, and I'm really enjoying the team. We're probably going to showcase some war battles featuring this team today. We're going to have them taking on some of the extreme metas in the game and see if we can get some wins. Remember, I do things so you don't have to, and I'm going a little bit slower than I usually do, bringing these characters up to showcase them at all different power levels. The previous information I've had, I've seen them at level 70. This is taken to level 75. You'll see them at G14. And when Adam Warlock comes in, you'll see them at their full power.